Hello, this is TL from A Bearded Man Plays, and with me here is Radio.
Hey,
Yeah, hey. And we are here to chat a little bit about Diablo 3. Specifically, the topic is why the hell would you play hardcore? Um, Hardcore Diablo 3, of course. And there is a stat that I wanted to share with you, Radio. I don't know if you've heard this before, but did you know that approximately 2%, only 2% of the Diablo 3 characters are hardcore mode, and that only 17% of the Diablo 3 player base has at least one hardcore character?
yeah, actually I did. That's part of the reason I came back.
You knew that. That's interesting considering I just made that stat up. But
No.
I guess I'll post it on the internet afterwards and make it true, so you're not made a fool. But
Sure, I read that somewhere.
yeah, I'm sure you didn't. But all right, hey, let's get started. Regarding Diablo 3 hardcore, the stats were a complete lie, but it is true that hardcore is not near as popular, even from my perspective, as Diablo 2 hardcore had been. And I don't know, that's kind of a bummer because when both Radio and I came back to playing Diablo 3, we decided to play Diablo 3 hardcore mode exclusively, and we've been having a blast with it. So I almost feel bad. I feel like people are missing out on it. What do you think, Radio?
Yeah, absolutely.
Missing out. So let's kind of chat about hardcore then. I just kind of want to get at why both of us decided to play hardcore, because really there are different reasons. The reason you are having fun with hardcore, while there are similarities, are there are some differences too as to why I'm having a lot of fun in hardcore. So let's start with you, Radio. Why are you playing hardcore?
Well, mainly it's a gamble. Any element of gambling is always fun. When something's on the line, the danger of the loss adds an element of excitement to it. And then really the second thing is, over the past 10 years being conditioned to games where you can't lose, it's really easy to lose interest. You play through, doesn't matter how many times you die because you just come back until you beat it. And then once you beat it, the game's really not much fun anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And in hardcore, you die, you start over. So it adds to the longevity, I think.
Okay. Any other reason why you're playing hardcore? Just the longevity of it? It just keeps it interesting?
Yeah, well, and mostly because you want to, show people like you, like your supposed friends, that you're better than them.
Oh, well, how many deaths have you had so far?
None.
Well, you're a really bad liar. Well, that actually gets at one of the reasons that I like to play hardcore, which is I like to play hardcore so I can be there when Radio dies, and I can hopefully catch it on film, and then post it up on the internet so that he is humiliated. But besides that reason, I'm a really competitive player, and it's not just with other people. I'm really competitive with myself, and so Diablo 3 hardcore gives me something to really push for. There's a really easy way to measure how effective or how good I am with a class, and that is how far can I get before I die. It's a very real way to measure if I'm any good or not, to me at least. And that's why I like to play it, especially more than I like to play Care Bear mode. By the way, Care Bear mode is what we like to call the soft core mode, just so that you know. But cool. And to your point too, I agree. Gaming right now, like everything is Care Bear mode almost. And like when you think back like when we started playing games with like the NES system and stuff like that, you had games with like not only did they not have a save point, but like it was just maybe like you had 3 lives and then you were dead and then you had to start over completely. And so like there was real loss that you experienced with those games, and it actually made it a little bit more exciting. To your point, it made it a little bit more of a gamble too, in certain places. But cool, yeah. So those are the reasons that the both of us play hardcore mode. Let's kind of talk about briefly what our experiences have been since we've been playing hardcore mode. What are the classes that you've played so far, Radio?
In hardcore, I have played the mage, or the wizard.
The mage. The battle mage?
Battle Mage,
All right.
the Wizard, the Demon Hunter couple times, and
Okay.
the Witch Doctor.
And the Witch Doctor. All right. So you've gone through several characters already, and right now you're on the Witch Doctor.
Correct.
Awesome. I've gone through with the Demon Hunter. I got Demon Hunter to level 60 and like 2 Paragon levels, and then I died. And I've been playing a Witch Doctor right now, and Witch Doctor's in the same place as the Demon Hunter was. Level 60, Paragon level 2, just into Act 2. And I don't know, what's your favorite class so far in Hardcore?
You know, I've been pleasantly surprised with all of them, especially once you get up to about level 30. But the the monk was really quite fun for me. I think I'd like to play more of the monk.
Okay, cool. Why?
I like the abilities have longer cooldowns on them, and it's less for me to think about. Like, as long as I know how to use the abilities together, I can worry more about just, are they all up? Am I getting the benefits? And now I just need to go kill things.
Mm-hmm.
The Demon Hunter was really, really fun too, but like, you had to be very careful and aware of how you were using your abilities, because you vault wrong or you run out of discipline and you're screwed. It's over. It certainly seemed like if you knew what you were doing, it would be like probably much awesomer. But if you're like me and you like to just kind of hack and slash without too much thought, you get a lot of benefits from a monk, and all you got to do is go in and kill stuff.
That must be frustrating to be that bad. But no, so the reason I say that is because I like the Demon Hunter for actually like those exact reasons that you like the monk more than the Demon Hunter. When I played my Demon Hunter, I picked it for strategic reasons. I felt that the cooldowns, or the lack of actual cooldowns for the defensive abilities, were the strength of the Demon Hunter. I felt that having Smokescreen, Vault, and Caltrops only relying on the resource of Discipline, instead of it actually being cooldown based, was actually perfect for Hardcore. Or not perfect, but better than a cooldown based defensive setup. So that's actually why I chose the Demon Hunter, and I had a lot of fun with that. And I think, well, I don't know, I think you make a good point. Like, when you're choosing which Hardcore character to make or which class to make for Hardcore, especially if it's your first one, you're going to really want to take a look at the abilities that those classes have and choose something that fits your actual play style. You said you like the monk because it's like you just, I don't know, I suppose what you put a mantra up and then you just run into combat and just tear it up, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
You just press your abilities once and you pretty much get 3 different cooldowns. And the setup I was using, that you just make sure they're all up to give your main attack a boost.
All right. facesmash.com/radiosmonk.
There you go.
Awesome. But definitely a valid point, though. Take a look at those skills. Make sure you're comfortable with it. I'm much more of a ranged player. I like the kiting playstyle a lot better, which of course the Demon Hunter lends itself to much better than a monk would, and so that's definitely that definitely contributed to me picking the Demon Hunter over a melee class. Absolutely. So I really
A lot of people do like to just run away and avoid fights, so that makes sense.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. All right, so next up, what do you see as being like the major differences between Care Bear mode and Hardcore mode?
Well, hardcore is fun.
Okay, all right. Do you think you could be more specific?
I think the other difference is basically just I don't know.
You don't know. All right. Well, I think the major difference for me between hardcore mode and Care Bear mode is has to do with like the auction house and items. it really feels like everyone's on a much more level playing field, because almost everyone dies eventually. And when you die, you lose items. Like my Demon Hunter had a lot of really good items and stuff, and now those are completely out of the economy, completely out of the whole game. And so it kind of keeps the auction house maybe a lot cleaner. The really good items are being used, and then when people die, they're gone. And on top of that, it's just plain harder to farm them up in such huge numbers as Care Bear does, because dying matters that much more. You're not near as willing to go into Act 3 Inferno and whirlwind through everything just recklessly. Like you have to put a lot more thought and strategy into Infernal play than you do in Care Bear. So I think that's a huge difference between Care Bear mode and hardcore mode. And so if you as a Diablo 3 player are kind of experiencing that sort of burnout that comes from the item grind, or even the Paragon level grind, or just kind of the frustration with like auction house stuff and trying to keep up with the Joneses and whatnot, give hardcore a shot, because it's a completely different world in regards to the economy, what the auction house is there for, and how you stack up or how you compare yourself to the other people playing in hardcore. It's much more of what I've experienced as much more of a community, even though it's a very small one, unfortunately. It's much more of a community of, like, when someone dies, it's like, oh man, that like really sucks. Everyone feels for you because they've been there. And it's not all about just, I have this stuff and you don't have this stuff. It's, let's see how far we can get in Inferno before we get kind of too scared to go any further. It has much less to do with, well, I guess, as I said, keeping up with the Joneses. Anything to share on that, Radio?
Yeah, I think that's definitely a good point. And the other main difference that...
Oh, you found one now, did you?
Well, I did, but you just made me forget it.
Oh, okay.
No, but the other main difference, I think, is just that, you know, no matter what you play, it is easy to burn out on it pretty quick, especially when you're going through, like, your fourth time, and you're gonna die. Like, it's...
Hey, your sound went out.
Well, I was gonna say you're gonna die in hardcore, and it's gonna happen no matter how good you are, whether it's lag or your wireless doesn't work or your wife is role playing on some stupid game and you die because her connection overrules yours. But whatever it is,
come on.
Whatever it is, you'll die and you'll get a chance to play something else and have fun trying that.
You know, that's really interesting because one of the reasons that we've been talking about that hardcore is fun is, I think, one of the reasons that people don't want to play hardcore or haven't tried it. We've been talking about losing a character as if it's this really fun thing to do, but it's not, is it? Like, it does actually suck. Even though that is tied in with the reason it's fun to play hardcore, that is actually a really frustrating thing about hardcore too. How many characters have you lost, Radio?
None.
Let's be honest for a second, just a second. How many characters have you lost, Radio?
4.
4. All right. So, tell us about that first, because I was there, but tell us about that first death, because hardcore mode is a brand new thing for you. You didn't play Diablo 2 back when it was out. We played Diablo 2 for like a couple of days before Diablo 3 came out, and that was your first real exposure to Diablo 2, so you certainly did not play hardcore Diablo 2. What was it like playing through hardcore for the first time and losing your first character?
Oh man, it pisses you off. It's so frustrating, but at the same time, like, you have a reason to replay a game that you enjoyed, and that was the main thing. Like, the fact that I didn't have to go spend $60 to go pick up Resident Evil 6, which was a game that I wanted, just because it's like I'm still having fun with this one. And I think that to open yourself up, to allow yourself the chance of increasing your replay value by an element of frustration, I think it's definitely worth the trade-off.
Mm-hmm. So, what kind of drives you to keep going? Because I think one of the biggest fears, and I'm sure it's happened many, many times, someone makes their first hardcore character, they're leveling it up, they're having fun, and then all of a sudden they die. And that emotion that they're feeling, that frustration that every one of us feels when we lose that hardcore character, is enough to push them to stop playing hardcore. Is that what you experienced at all?
No, I didn't want to quit. I was like I played a lot of games. I know I'm good, and the fact that I died when I know I'm better than that, it's not going to make me quit.
Okay. So, like when I died my Demon Hunter. Unfortunately, I lost to my own stupidity. But one of the things that really made me keep playing hardcore too is just like you're saying, like you've played a lot of games before, you know you're better than that death that you just had. I think that's a big driving force behind a lot of the hardcore players too, is when you die, you're really frustrated that you just lost that character and all the time and items that you put into that character. But at the same time, you could use it as something to drive you to keep playing, because you want to basically prove yourself. Like when I died on my Demon Hunter to the Butcher, for those of you who haven't seen it, check out the other YouTube videos on the channel, and I did post it up. You can see how frustrated I am. I say a couple swear words and stuff like that, of course. But it just makes you want to play more, because I knew that I should not have died to the Butcher. That was just stupid. I'm so much better than that. And so I needed to prove myself. I needed to avenge my Demon Hunter, which actually I did today. Yay. On my Witch Doctor, I did kill the Butcher on Inferno and avenge my Demon Hunter's death, which makes hardcore fun in a whole new way too, that Care Bear people can't really experience, I think. Anyways, so really kind of the point behind just sitting down to talk about hardcore is show people that it is kind of fun. There are a lot of frustrating things to it. Neither one of us are really experts on hardcore or even Diablo 3. We really just kind of play it for fun. Although, albeit in minor ways for different reasons too. But if you haven't tried hardcore, boot up hardcore. There's so much more to it. It adds so much more to the game other than the frustration. There is that frustration, but there's so much more that's really fun. I mean, nothing really beats that first time that you get the red borders around your character screen, and like your heart gets racing and stuff like that. It's awesome. It's an awesome feeling, especially if you come out of it alive. Like, to me, there's so much reward playing hardcore than there is in Care Bear, because there is something at risk. There is something on the line. Your time and energy put into a character is on the line, and that makes it really fun. It makes it exciting, exhilarating, and to Radio's point from earlier, that's something that's maybe missing in a lot of other games too. So if you're having fun with Diablo 3, or if you're not having fun with Diablo 3, boot up some hardcore. There's a whole nother aspect to this game that you're missing out on, I think, if you haven't booted up hardcore yet. So, any parting words, Radio?
Be a man. Play hardcore.
Oh, hold on, I got something for you here. This is what you can do.
You can act like a man! You can act like a man!
Alright, yeah, so you can act like a man, is what Radio says, and boot up hardcore. Absolutely. So I put both of our Battle.net IDs up on the screen there, both Radio's and mine. And if you're interested in booting up hardcore, or you are currently playing hardcore and just looking for people to play with, hit us up online. We're more than happy to start a new character if you're brand new, or join in on a run that you already have going. Just hit us up online. But check out the other videos on the YouTube channel. We do stream pretty regularly, Diablo 3 hardcore exclusively. The stream link is in the video. We also got email, Facebook, Twitter. Hit us up with any questions or comments. I think next up on the list, we're going to be talking about the auction house, because I think the auction house brings a lot of interesting things up, at least interesting conversations regarding hardcore, and what role the auction house has currently and what it should have. I think there's a lot to talk about. I'd be interested to hear beforehand what a lot of you have to say about it, so leave comments about this video, but also the next one regarding the auction house, and we'll be certain to talk about some of your points there too. So yeah, leave questions, comments, follow us on Twitch, and follow us on YouTube. Thanks for listening, and have a good one.